Hey, you guys, I hope you all are doing well. Do I hear feedback? I apologize. Sound like I heard a feedback. I hope you all are doing well. I have an amazing guest, Julia. Did I say that right? Yeah,
Yeah, Julia.
Julia. Okay, thank you for coming on our YouTube channel.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. We appreciate you spending some time with us, and I know it's evening for you, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So thank you again. I like to
My
ask
pleasure.
questions. Oh, you're welcome. Um, oh my gosh, I need to slow down. So I just had some durian. So um,
Delicious.
yes, I love it. I love it. One of my favorite fruits. What is your favorite fruit? I'm gonna start. I'm gonna do something different.
It's mango for sure. I love mango.
Yes,
It's my absolute favorite. And honeydew melon. Like, I have a very hard time deciding between those two, but all in all, I love all fruits when they're good. So, yeah.
yes,
But
yes,
durian is definitely also under my top seven favorite fruits.
yes,
What
yes.
about you?
Well, I think mango would well watermelon would be my first, and then mango.
Nice. Yeah, watermelon is great too.
Yes, yes. So, when you was growing up as a child, how was your eating habits? And I know you're still
Hmm.
young.
Yeah, my eating habits were very normal. I used to eat a lot of bread and pasta and rice. I did, however, remember refusing a lot of my mom's meat and fish, especially fish. I didn't like it because of the little bones. Is it called bones? I think it's
Yes.
called bones,
Yes.
right? Of the fish. I was always so scared to swallow it.
Hmm.
So, yeah, like I remember having had a lot of discussions with my parents that I just didn't want the meat and the animal products, but they found ways eventually to sneak it into my diet through like sausages, and I also really loved spaghetti bolognese, so those were some things I were having a lot. Also a lot of Nutella. That's a very common thing in Germany to start your day with some bread and Nutella. So yeah, just very typical. But also my mom used to make really good salads, so I remember that a lot, that I really liked her salads, and she always cut up lots of cucumber and tomatoes for us fresh with every meal, like at least lunch and dinner. And I also remember never being satiated with the amount. I always wanted more cucumbers and tomatoes. So yeah, definitely like very standard. What most people probably have been growing up with.
Hmm. Wow, but you had some fresh salads. I didn't have that growing up, but
Hmm.
that's good. That's
Yeah, I'm also very, very grateful for that. And also, we always had lots of fruit, especially in the summertime, lying around.
mhm.
So it was always an option for me to have that as well. And yeah, my mom also used to put vegetables, in the sauces she made for the carbs, like for the rice or the pasta. So yeah, but definitely nothing special.
Well, that sounds good. So, I mean, it sounds better than, the typical American standard. So,
Mm, yeah.
so wow. So, how did you become your fruit based or your high raw plant based? Because it looks like you eat a lot of fruits.
Yeah, I would say like 80%, something like that, comes from fruit of my calories. But
Mhm.
I also really, really love like potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn pasta, that kind of stuff. So every once in a while, I'll have that for my dinner.
Mhm.
So kind of raw till four style, or I'll have a big salad, something like that. And yeah, that's a great question how that happened. So I was traveling and I was very overweight because I was in Australia and I was not used to traveling. So I was eating a lot of junk food, and I was very unhappy with the way my body looked. And then I met a friend and he was eating raw vegan at that time. He was basically just eating fruit all the time, and I was at a point where I was convinced that I have to eat very few carbs to get lean.
Mhm.
So I was really triggered by it. Like, I was so triggered because I thought all this sugar is gonna make him fat eventually. And I remember so my parents came over to Australia visiting me, and we met up with them, and they saw like how much weight I gained, and they were shocked. And I remember coming back from Sydney, where we met up with my parents with
Mhm.
that friend. We came back to Byron, and I was I was so desperate in that moment. I was like, wow, I just don't want to continue. Like, my parents were just so like sad for me also for how my body changed in that time, because they always wanted me to, be healthy and happy, and they could also see that I'm just generally not happy with the way my body looked, even though I did have a great time in Australia and stuff, but still, like, health was always a big priority for me.
Mhm.
And I remember my friend really noticed how I was feeling down, and he asked me what's going on, and I told him, and then he said, Julia, if you just go like raw vegan, just try it for like 30 days, your weight is gonna come off like crazy. And I really like went all in, so I only ate fruits at that time, and I regret not having eaten a lot of, like, I haven't eaten any greens at that time, just fruit. So that was a little bit of a mistake, which in the long run led to some problems with me for me. So at one point I started to also incorporate greens and lots of salads as well. So that was a nice change for me, because I transitioned cold turkey from still eating meat,
Mhm.
still like eating very very much vegan and stuff, but I didn't like have that label on me at that time yet. So yeah, and then I really loved it. The weight started coming off, and like I don't look, I don't ever look back to, you know, to that day. So yeah.
Wow, that's great. So did you eat, was there any particular fruits that you ate, or you just ate whatever? Like back then, what was you eating typically?
Yeah, so I do have to add to that I went to Malaysia to get started, because I knew I won't be able to afford doing this lifestyle in Australia. So I decided to quit my job that I had there back at that time, go
Mhm.
to Malaysia, meet up with that friend again, because I wanted to do it together with him. And
Mhm.
then we just splurged on mangoes, like just mangoes all day, every day, like Nandok Mai mangoes. I don't know if you've ever tried them. And other kinds of varieties, also lots of durian for sure, lots of coconut water, like that was definitely also staple, papaya, watermelon, and whatever else we could get our hands on. If we had good mangosteen or rambutan, we would eat that. So definitely a nice place to start with.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you eat any coconut, the flesh of the coconut, and did you eat any avocados?
That's a good question. Yeah, the coconut flesh I didn't really eat, because yeah, usually the water I drank, the meat was very hot, and I just didn't really enjoy that. And also I used to get a lot of the Coco Max. For all the people who've been to Thailand, maybe they know that brand. Like, Coco Max is really awesome. It is pasteurized, but it's just so tasty and
Mhm.
convenient. When you're traveling, you don't always have a kitchen, so I used to drink that a lot. And avocado I had here and there, but I did try and keep it very low, because I wanted to really get fast results, and I
Mhm.
also wanted to detox, so I kept the avocado kind of low for sure.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing that. Did you have any teeth issues while you was eating the fruit?
My teeth are. I think I'm very blessed with just good teeth. It's just nothing I've ever struggled with. But no, I didn't have any teeth. And I do have to mention, though, I am very disciplined with not brushing my teeth right before or right after eating. I usually wait like at least half an hour, if not more. And I
Mhm.
also don't use any toothbrush since toothpaste. I use a toothbrush, but I don't use toothpaste. I just clean them with water
Mhm.
since 5 years. So I think that maybe has a little bit to do with it, because with the toothpaste, you're basically rubbing off the layer, and then your teeth aren't really that protected anymore from the acids in the fruit, especially. And also, one more point, I always made sure the fruit is ripe. If I opened a mango and it wasn't ripe, I know it's not the best, but I would throw it out, because I guess my teeth and also my digestion was a little bit too important for me because, when you eat unripe fruit, you just get bloated. And I did the first few days, I did eat unripe mangoes, and I was like, no more. This is just not worth it. I want to learn how to know when they're ripe and then only eat them when that's the case. So yeah.
Wow. Thanks for that tip about brushing your teeth with just water. Because I'm the type of person I like to go back and ask, like, what did they eat? What did they do back then? And I'm like, they didn't have toothpaste, you know, it was no toothpaste around. People chewed on sticks or ate an apple or whatever. They didn't use toothpaste and a toothbrush. But I noticed in some cultures they use the stick and they might use the stick to brush
Interesting.
after they chew on it. I think Jamaicans have, I forgot what the name, but other cultures I noticed they do have that. So yeah.
Interesting. And I do also want to mention, though, that I'm not the type of person that doesn't brush her teeth. Like, there are people who say you don't have to brush them, but I do still think it's important to brush them for sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And also, there's no animal in nature that brushes their
Right.
teeth, right?
Right.
Like,
Wow. That's a good point too.
mm.
Wow. Thank you. How old are you? See, you can learn
I'm
from.
23.
Oh, you're still a baby. No, you're not a baby. I know 23. I have a 27-year-old and
Mm.
a younger one. She's here, my 13-year-old. She's here leaving comments. Easy butterfly. She's waving,
Aw.
waving.
Thanks for the support.
You're welcome.
So, who inspired you? I know you spoke about your friend, but who inspires you to continue eating raw and your spirituality, if you have any?
Hmm. Definitely, yeah. Chris Kendall was a really, really huge inspiration for me because he's so calm around it. I can really feel like he's not doing it out of a dogmatic place, like I have to be 100% raw, but
Mhm,
he's like just spreading so much joy and doing it really because he loves it so much.
mhm,
And another huge inspiration that kind of lifted me up when I was just about to give up and like going back a lot to cooked foods. I think that was 2 or 3 years ago. Was Freely the Banana Girl,
yes.
because that was at a point where I was really undercarb because I wasn't eating enough fruit. I think we all had that period at one point, and then she really showed me like, girl, Julia, you gotta eat so much more than you're eating right now. You can't just eat a little bit here and there. So
Mhm.
I really started eating more, bananas, making really huge banana smoothies, and that definitely helped me a lot. And so yeah, those two I think are my biggest inspirations.
Oh, that's great, great. So, did you gain any weight? Because I've seen a lot of controversy of people saying, eating 12 bananas and dates and, all this extra sugar and fruit causes them to gain weight. But then I know that people are depleted from years of not eating properly. But did you gain any weight?
Hmm. That's a good question. I mean, it was quite a journey. So my journey started 5 years ago, I think, and then I had a period where I was a lot into fasting, not eating anything, intermittent fasting, and that caused me a lot to get into a binge purge cycle where I would binge out every night and eat a lot of junk food, and there I did gain weight for sure. But then once I got back on track with eating lots of bananas, I wasn't really ever much into dates, to be honest. I just don't really enjoy smoothies with dates. And again, my teeth are very important to me. So I sometimes eat, a few dates or put them in a dressing, but that I can't really say. But I was also incorporating potatoes. I always had periods fully raw and then, periods where I would eat potatoes as well. And I lost the weight. Like when I stuck with this like diet, I always lost weight. The only times I would gain weight was when I was under eating on fruit and then going back to a lot of junk food, and then I would gain weight. So yeah, I think that's maybe why some people think that happens, because there are some raw vegans that blow up and or not blow up, but like that get maybe a little bit bigger, which is all right. But I personally am pretty sure that that's not because of the raw food diet, but that's because they maybe are a little bit too strict with themselves and then going back to junk food again. So that's at least what happened to me. So yeah.
Wow, thanks for sharing that. It was something I was, oh God, what was it? Gosh, you're such, your spirit is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, it'll come back to me. What are some of the biggest misconceptions that you have experienced or heard, from other people?
Mm-hmm. One misconception is that cooked food is addictive. And I don't really agree, to be honest. I think it depends on what that cooked food is eaten with. So if it's just plain potatoes, plain rice or sweet potatoes, and you eat enough of it, that's important because especially potatoes are very low in calories. So yes, if you eat 3 potatoes and then you want more, yeah, you might want to like crave more, but that's not because cooked food is addictive, but just because potatoes actually are lower in calories than bananas, I recently realized. So yeah, also with those foods, with whole food, plant-based foods, it's important to eat enough. And I personally haven't found that cooked food is addictive. What is addictive, however, are like very stimulating foods, like when you add a lot of salt, when you add a lot of oil, when you add a lot of fatty stuff as well, like cashew sauces and that kind of stuff. And I've even found that some of the raw foods are more addictive than cooked foods, also like cacao and that kind of stuff. So what really helped me is to focus on the foods that just aren't addictive, but still allow myself to eat cooked food if I feel like that. And do I know any other, misconceptions? Maybe also that you have to restrict your calories to be able to lose weight, or that you have to count them and stuff. Like, everyone works differently, and for some people that might work, but I've found with myself and also with some of the people that I work with that I help to slim down as well, that the easiest way to slim down is to really carb up, lower the fat intake, and then use that fuel, because when you eat so many carbs, you have more energy to move more. And to really make that a priority in your everyday life, to find ways to enjoy movement. And that will also kind of regulate your hormones and your appetite, and then you'll automatically lose weight. Whereas if you count the calories, you're so much in your head. So that's maybe also a misconception. And especially, of course, if you come to whole foods and raw foods, counting calories is such a pain in the ass. Like, it's just like vegetables and fruits. First of all, it's not very like certain how many calories are really in there. And like when you're making a smoothie, do you really want to weigh all the bananas and then the frozen fruit? Like, no.
Right. Oh, no, that's too much.
Yeah.
Too
So
much.
I think those two are the biggest misconceptions.
Yes. Um, so with the fats, I notice you're okay. You say you eat. Do you eat any nuts, or do you eat any avocados, or coconut flesh or meat? The meat from the coconut.
That's a great question. Yeah, it depends. Recently, I've really discovered olives. So currently, I'm eating olives, sometimes raw and without salt, sometimes with salt. I then soak them in water for 24 hours or something, so that some of the salt gets out. And to be honest, avocados I don't really enjoy, because once you've tried really, really good avocados from Thailand and then you come back to Germany where the avocado quality is just so bad, like 1 out of 3 is maybe good, so it's not really worth it for me. And then it's not good, but it's like all right. So I don't eat a lot of avocados. Sometimes, like maybe twice a month, I'll eat an avocado. Not because I think they're bad, but just because I don't feel like it. And then coconut meat, not really, because I rarely have coconut. But if the meat is very jelly-like, then I'll eat it, and if it tastes good. But if it's not, then I'm also not gonna get it out for a salad dressing or stuff. Then I'll just throw it out. Durian I sometimes get frozen from the Asian store, so that I really enjoy. And yeah, because you asked with nuts, I rarely eat nuts. The only exception is like when it's walnut season and you can get them fresh. Then I like it just because it's also kind of a nostalgic childhood thing that we used to do a lot to crack nuts.
Uh-huh.
So I like that. And also hemp seeds I do put in my dressings to make them more creamy. So yeah, but generally, I would say my fat intake is very, very low. And I've also had periods with no overt fats. I can't really say if I had any difference. I don't think it's necessary to go overt fat free, but yeah, that's also something I've done, which for me isn't hard at all for some reason. Because, like, if you eat enough carbs, I don't find it hard actually to not eat any fat. So, yeah.
Wow. So what a typical day would look like, because it sounds like, the fruits is the key. So what is a typical day of eating for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have two types of days. The one is where I eat fully raw, so that will usually be honeydew melon for breakfast or some mangoes when it's season. That's only a short period of the year. And then for lunch, I'll have a big smoothie with 7, 8, 9 bananas and some frozen fruit. And then for dinner, I'll have, if I'm still hungry, I'll have some more fruit, like some grapes or something like that. And then I'll have like a big salad with some leafy greens, very simple salad, usually tomatoes. So today, for example, was a little bit different day because I was quite busy. So I just had two big banana smoothies with 8 bananas, 1 mango, and frozen strawberries each. Like, and then for dinner, I had just had a big salad with mango, tomato, and greens. So very simple day. And then I also have days like maybe once, twice, sometimes 3 times a week, depending on what I feel like, where I just eat fruit for breakfast and lunch. And then in the evening, I have a huge, but a really huge bowl of potatoes.
Mhm.
Sometimes maybe even a little bit too much, but I just love them so much. And sweet potatoes, and then I make a salt-free and oil-free tomato sauce with it. Or some corn pasta with also like raw, not raw, with a vegan bolognese with lots of celery and bell pepper steamed and tomatoes. So it's a very nice sauce that I've refined over time. But I am not 100% strict with salt, but quite because I've just realized that I don't feel that good with it. So I don't have that a lot. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Um, this is what I wanted to ask you about the fruit. Do you find that you sleep easily? Like, what is a typical? Is it hard to get to sleep? And how long do you normally sleep at night?
Hmm. Yeah, the sleep is one thing which I haven't refined yet, which I'm currently working on refining. I gotta be honest, because I usually go to bed quite late, like 11:30 or 12. On a good night, I'll go to bed at 10, but it happens not often enough. I would like to do that more. And then I do sleep a lot because I recognize that, especially in the first few years of switching to this lifestyle, sleep is crucial because your body is detoxing so much. And by sleeping more, we're basically supporting our body in detoxing and, cleansing out all the toxins that are being released when we stop putting all that old food in. So I usually sleep 9 to 10 hours. If
Wow.
I had, yeah, it's a lot. And I'm very grateful that my job allows me to do that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'm very grateful for that. And eventually I want to just get to bed earlier and then still get up early. So usually I get up around 9 a.m., sometimes earlier, sometimes a little bit later if that's possible. But yeah, I'm a big sleep person.
That's
So
good.
yeah.
For me, I had, I would only sleep 4 hours. Like in the beginning when I used to
Wow.
go on the raw
Mm.
or even just plant based, in 4 hours, but I would wake up energized and everything. But when I incorporated more fruits, I noticed I sleep longer. So, Yeah, it's something about the fruits for me, and my digestion is even better. I know this is not
Nice.
about you, but I wanted to share that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always curious to hear how it is for others. So, do you feel you fall asleep more easily? Because I realized I actually didn't answer that question.
Say that again.
Do you feel like you fall asleep more easily when you sleep
Oh,
more?
oh, we have you there. Oh wow, I don't know what happened. It froze. Are you there? If you can hear me, just go out and come back. Come back and click the link. I don't. You froze up, and I don't hear anything. Okay, you doing the peace sign. I hope you all are doing well, you guys. I hope y'all enjoying these interviews because I am having an amazing time learning so much. I love talking about the way I eat. I love okay, she's back. Can you hear me? I can't hear. Okay, can you hear me?
Hmm.
Okay. You was asking me a question. I don't.
Yeah, I asked you, like, do you feel like you fall asleep more easily since, eating more fruit or, going fruit based?
Yes, I do. I don't. I usually take an hour or two before I. But now I don't even know when I go to sleep. It's so quick. I mean,
Wow.
I be ready. Like I wind down. My body winds down now because I get up earlier and I go to bed earlier. So I winds down very easily now. So I'm grateful for that because I used to have a sleep problem. I only would sleep 4 hours. And be getting up in between that time. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, then you must have been really like tired throughout the day.
No,
So, yeah.
no, I wasn't tired. I felt energized, but I just didn't. I guess the 4 hours was good for me, but when I incorporated more fruits, I have more in it throughout the day. My energy was always good. It's just that when it was time to go to bed, when the 4 hours, it would take longer to go to sleep. But now I eat more fruit. I go to
Mm.
sleep earlier. I have energy still, like even until like when the eat round about 9 o'clock, it's like no, it's time to go. I'm winding down. I don't really want to talk. I want to relax and go to sleep. So that's how I feel now.
Amazing. That's so awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can definitely I've also noticed that I've always been very quick at falling asleep, but yeah, I just feel my body wants to sleep naturally longer.
Hmm.
And then I also feel like I have more energy throughout the day because I sleep more. And I guess also because I'm detoxing during the night. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yes. And I noticed you used to do a strict intermittent fasting. So why did you stop doing that?
Yeah, I stopped because I realized that the most important thing for a healthy relationship with food is to be able to listen to your hunger signals.
Hmm.
And when you do strict intermittent fasting and you say, for example, okay, I'm not going to eat till 12, midday,
Hmm.
then but you're hungry at 10, then you're training your body to ignore your hunger signals. And
Hmm.
also when you don't honor your hunger signals, then you tend to overeat when you then actually eat, and you again don't honor your hunger signals. I think for men maybe it is a little bit easier to do intermittent fasting without completely neglecting that, but I think for women, especially because we have our menstrual cycle, it's just a little bit more flowy and fluidy with the hunger cues. So for me, it's easier to just eat when I feel like it, and that naturally happens to be not a very long eating window. Like I rarely have my eating window longer than 8 hours or 9 hours. But if that happens, I'm completely chill with it and I'm honoring it, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not like, oh my God, I didn't stick to it. So yeah.
Mhm. So I used to have a big problem with eating breakfast, and I kind of still do. You have a question? Huh? Oh, okay. Um, I kind of still do, but uh, like sitting down when you're hungry, you sit down and eat. You know, let's say it's 10 o'clock a.m. Do you, and you're busy because I'm normally busy when I get up. So do you sit down and eat your whole meal, or because like I would tend to just probably grab a banana, grab something quick, that I can eat instead of sit down and eat my whole meal and get full. I guess you would call that snacking.
Yeah, probably. I rarely snack, so not because I think you can't snack, but just because I like to have like a break and then really feel like hungry. And for me, what my typical morning looks like, so when I'm going to work, I wake up around 7, and then I do my morning. I make a smoothie usually, or I pack in some melon. Then I go to work, and then I'll maybe have the melon at 9:30, something like that. So that'll be my breakfast, like a melon or a smoothie. And when I'm at home, I wake up, and then usually first thing I do is either some stretching or dancing a little bit, moving, or sometimes, something relaxing.
Mhm.
And then I will have my breakfast like 1 hour maybe after getting up. And then in that 1 hour after waking up, I hydrate on some water as well. So I don't eat like right after getting up. I used to do that as a child. I would get up, and then maybe 6 a.m. I would get up, and then 6:30 I would have breakfast, like bread with Nutella, and like I don't know, I wouldn't feel like doing that anymore, to like eat right after getting up. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yes, yes, and thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So, what makes you excited? And before I ask you this question, I want to let you guys know she helped women to lose weight and all of the great things. She's coaching. So I should have put that. So the information is in the description. So please go click the link after the live, or if you look at the replay, the link is in the description. So please go follow her and contact her if you are interested in getting the body that you want, because that's what she gonna do for you. So thank you for that. So what makes you excited about the way you eat? Oh, we froze again. Oh,
Thank you first of all for the props and for
oh,
sharing my link. Yeah, that is actually something that really excites me. And that, like, I get so excited waking up in the morning knowing that I can help others
mhm,
to overcome a problem that I've struggled with for so long.
mhm,
So I really love, just sharing this message. Another thing that really excites me is to connect with others. Like, I really like connecting with people that are like-minded, that are also into, high raw vegan lifestyle, who are into spirituality, or, personal development. That is definitely also something that really excites me. Like, working on like my limiting beliefs and transforming them, and manifesting stuff, like realizing that I'm the creator of my reality and I can manifest like things into my life, and I'm just blown away every single time how it works. So yeah, personal development, weight loss is something I'm very excited about, and I also really love running. I have a very like hilly past, or rocky past with running. So I used to be a lot into running as a teenager, was also in a track and field club and did competitions. And then when I started doing low carb for almost a year, which was a terrible time in my life, I completely lost any interest in running. And then I had my fasting period where I was fasting all the time, and I also wasn't carved up really, and lost even more interest in running. Tried, but didn't work. And then once I found Freely, I really got into running again, and I realized it's really just something that I'm so passionate and excited about. And now that I'm eating, this way, I see amazing results. Like even as a teenager, I wasn't recovering this quickly and making progress so quickly, but now that I've found this lifestyle, it's almost like a magic pill that makes you just like get better. So yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Did you have to heal? Did you see any healing when you were going in the beginning and even now? Because it's a journey. I don't know if you froze again. Oh, okay,
No, I'm still there.
okay. Did you
You
have it?
mean healing?
Yes,
Like physical healing?
yes. Like if you had acne that cleared up from your diet, or some people have inflammation, they don't have the pain anymore. Anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I struggled with first of all junk food addiction. I was really addicted to junk food, and yeah, like bread, peanut butter, and that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So that I was able to completely heal because yeah, I'm carved up, so I don't feel like I crave the junk food. Of course, it takes some time to readjust, but
Mhm.
that healed. And then I had cellulite and bloating as well. So I didn't really have anything like acne or any issues like that, but I did struggle with bloating and digestive issues. And
Mhm.
now my digestion is just completely smooth. And the only time I get bloated is like one day before my period. Then I
Mhm.
really get bloated and look like I'm pregnant.
Mhm.
And I accept that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And even if it happens on more days, for everyone watching, like there's nothing wrong with it, but just know that you can reverse it when you come to this lifestyle. And yeah, also my cellulite, I was so shocked. Like I was 17 and I had cellulite, and I was like, how is this possible? Like this doesn't look natural.
Mhm.
And then when I came to this lifestyle, it just went away. So I'm very grateful for that, because I just find that it just it doesn't look good, and it just looks good when the skin is very smooth. And yeah, did I have anything else? Oh yeah, and depression for sure. Like I feel like my mood is so good on this lifestyle, because like when I eat a banana smoothie, man, I'm just in heaven. I'm just like so happy because I feel
Mhm.
like so much serotonin is being released.
Mhm.
So generally, yeah, definitely. Like I did also have a little bit of depression back in the days. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I find that a lot of people who come to this lifestyle, they had that type of issues, depression, and a lot of different dark thoughts. But once they change their eating, it's like
Mm.
it just goes away. And it's amazing how food is information. It heals. It does just so amazing things to the body. I mean, it's amazing. And the process, uh, I call them chemicals, and how they can take the body the other way. Dead food makes the body think dead and eat. That's amazing to see the difference. Are you froze again? I think it's froze again. Are you there? She's in. Is she in Thailand? I don't remember. She's in
Germany.
Germany. Yeah. So I don't know. It froze. Just come back. Just go out and come back again. It doesn't matter like where you are, but I don't know. Sometimes the internet acts up, and I was just hoping our lights didn't go out. Okay. She have a different. I don't know how to do that. Okay, I'm gonna have to take this one off. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, I'm gonna see if I can hopefully can take. Oh God, I don't want to kick. I don't know how to do this.
Remove.
Um, I don't want to kick. It says kick out. I'm gonna just leave it. I don't know what to do here. Are you there? Oh, okay. Are you there? It's frozen. Maybe let's say remove. What you said remove. Um, you guys get bear with us. Okay. Should I just remove this? If you can hear me, I'm gonna remove it. Come back in. Oh, did it even? Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
I'm back.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Great.
Yes. Okay, my daughter's like, just press remove. And I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna kick you out of here, out of the thing. I don't want to do that. So why do you love why do you love what you do when it comes to
To raw food, you mean?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
to this lifestyle?
yes.
Mm, I guess, yeah, because I've been in a really dark place before I found this lifestyle, and it just almost feels like the dark room that I've been living in has lightened up and is so bright and colorful now. And I just don't really want to go back. I just don't really feel like going back to that dark place. And I know from experience, because when I started this lifestyle, I did have that period where I ate, lots of junk food and didn't really take care of my sleep, didn't really move my body, um, didn't drink enough water. And I realized in that time that it's very likely to go back to that place when you don't have that clear why. So that's also why I love that you asked that question. So yeah, that also really motivated me and gave me a lot of fuel. And I realized I don't want to go back there, not because I'm afraid, but just because I want to live with passion and thrive. And also, another thing is just because, like, moving and experiencing life becomes so much more effortless. Like, I genuinely feel like going out and, running around and dancing and moving my body, making music with friends. And I just genuinely feel like doing that. And before that, everything always felt like a drag. I almost felt like I was dragging myself through life. And it's just so much more enjoyable to actually feel like the things that you're doing. Like, so I guess that's, yeah, what motivates me.
Wow, that's beautiful. I mean, it's amazing that the food encourage. I'm telling you, I'm a master herbalist, whatever that means, because you're always learning. You know what I'm saying? Mastering anything, but um, I would tell people you have to change. You know the way you eat. You can do the herbs, but you still have to change what caused the problem in the beginning. You can't
Mm.
continue, to say the stupid thing is to keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And I always say you got to change what you're eating because it's so imperative, it's so important that we do that to really see the change in our bodies and how our bodies communicate with us even better when we put the right things in it. So thank you for sharing that. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity and opening up this space. I'm really, really grateful and honored to be on your show.
Yes,
And
we're honored to have you. Thank you.
my pleasure. And I also want to just acknowledge I love your questions. They're so good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Do you have any last remarks you would like to share with us? Because I don't want to wear out my welcome. So if we can get you back on here another time or something, I don't want to wear out our welcome. So if you have any last remarks you would like to share with us.
Yeah, definitely. I think what just comes to mind spontaneously is to just enjoy this lifestyle, enjoy life,
Mhm.
and to, yeah, do this lifestyle from a place of passion and thrive and love and joy and compassion also for the animals.
Mhm.
And I've been there where I wasn't doing it from a place of love, where I was very dogmatic with myself. I was beating myself up when I didn't eat the right way. And basically, all the reasons why I was doing this lifestyle for didn't really come to fruition because of my dogmatic, very narrow, views. So I think what I really recommend everyone who's watching, I mean, if you already are, that's great. If you already are at a place where you're really enjoying this and everything in your life is effortless. But if you aren't, then maybe see if you can take a step back and maybe not push so hard, but take, one or a few steps back, but
Mhm.
do the things that you are changing, that you are doing better than you did before. Do them with love and do the things that you really, really love. And because the things that are healthy for your body, the things that contribute to your overall well-being, to your health, they are effortless. Like sleeping as much as your body needs is effortless. Eating fruit is effortless. It tastes so, so, so good when the fruit is good.
Yes.
So focus on those things that are effortless, that you enjoy, and that you love doing. So.
Yes. Yes, yes. Thank you so much for sharing such a beautiful journey. And we appreciate you and my little one. I call her, I don't know what I'm gonna call her now because she's 13 now. But we thank you so much. She's giving you thumbs ups.
Thank you. And thank you also for your support, like of your daughter and you as well.
Yes, thank you so much. So, thank you guys for coming by, and please don't forget to click the link below to contact Julia. She will help you get where you need to go, and I really love it. I love it. So,
Thank
oh,
you.
got some thumbs and hearts and stuff going on over here. Okay, 1,000 roses to you guys. Love yourself first. Why? Because you are worth it. Peace.
Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.